Hello, and welcome to another episode of Gareth's Tech Pie. Hope you, yourself, and your friends and family are all well wherever you are watching from in the world. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at how we can have another experience, an employee experience, to approve workflows from within Dynamics HR or Dynamics Finance and Operations, and how we can use Teams and Power Automate in order to approve or deny workflows outside of the solution. So what I'm going to do is quickly share my screen for you all. Let's bring that into view. If you've not used Power Automate before, you can simply get to that by using that link in screen, and you can sign in or try that for free. The template which we're going to be using today is the one which I've just listed on our screen there. So that looks a little bit like this. Simple way to search for this particular template. There are two of them. There is a PU26 version and a PU29 version. Don't need to worry too much about that, but it's the PU29 that you're looking for. That's the most up to date. And what this will also enable you to do versus the 26 is click in to your approval within Teams and link back into your Dynamics solution, should you wish to do so. This is the template that we're going to be working with. And the way that this works is it uses something called business events. So this is one of the areas where we get a really great win moving to finance and operations, back where HR originated from. So we do have full use of the business events within finance and operations. And if you want to take a look at these business events and the types of things that we can swing them around, we can simply go to that business events catalog and we'll see all the hundreds of things listed there. In essence, a business event is like a trigger. It's a watch point. It does, it triggers things when something happens. And these are all of our listed elements. We're going to create a workflow today on a position creation, which is triggered by a position action. But you can see here, again, some of the benefits that we've got for moving into finance and operations from Dynamics HR. We get further richer experience and functionality, just some indications of that on screen around workforce planning and the use of budgets. We can take a look at performance and compensation. But that's not the purpose of this call today, but just to raise your general awareness of that. If we take a look at the construct of this particular Power Automate, and if we actually go and take a look at one that I built earlier, go into this, much of the template is ready for you to go. You just need to point it at the environment at which it's going to be on. So this is what I've done here. And the first thing you do is to go in here, change the environment instance, point it to the environment that you're interested in, and select the work item and business event that is appropriate to you. And I said we're using the approved position action. So the instance or the story around this is that maybe you're a manager. You don't want to go into Dynamics HR all the time. You don't want to be in that space all the time in self-service. But frequently you're spending most of your life within teams and communicating, collaborating with people. So what you really like is to know what workflow approvals are coming in and be able to approve those workflows from within Teams. And that is exactly what we can do with this particular Power Automate. There are a couple of other areas in here where we have to add the same details as well. But if I expand the entire Automate here so you can see the construct of it, the other areas which you will need to pay attention to put some variables in, these ones here where we've got these execution actions. But you will be prompted for these things if you're trying to save the Automate without that setup in it. So the way that this works is we still trigger our workflow, although in theory you could potentially trigger this outside as well, but that's not been tested here. We trigger the workflow, requesting a new position. We go through the usual process of requesting this position with a workflow, specifying a reason code, etc. if we do need to put that in there. And once the workflow is fired and we've actually submitted that, then what actually happens in the background finance and operations is that business event triggers, and the business event gets picked up by Power Automate, which recognizes that we're trying to create an approval. What we then see as an end user on this is if we look within Teams and bring in the approvals app area here, we can see a centralized experience of all of our approvals. So this might not just be within Dynamics HR. Now, this could be approval requests which we've generated from here as a template, maybe a corporate template, a personal template. But also, if you've got those extended experiences to Adobe Sign for maybe employee contracts, changes to terms and conditions of service with Adobe or DocuSign, then we've got that centralized experience and place here too. So that, in a nutshell, is what the Power Automate does. If we click into one of these approvals, we can see here that it's telling us around the position action or the detail that's needed. It's drawing in information from that workflow item. And what I mentioned earlier around the difference around the PU26 and the 29 variants, with PU29, if you double click this piece here, it will actually take you back into the solution. So you've got the option there of drilling into the detail, or you can simply approve this item from here too. You will get an email alert every time there's an approval sent. It's just a neat little way to have another experience around approvals, particularly workflow approvals within Dynamics HR. Thank you very much. Have a great day.